coming to you live February 25th, right here on HBO. I was going to mention, had the fight given us time, that as Mark Breland was being introduced in the ring, a fellow Brooklyn fighter and an old friend was going wild at ringside. Mike Tyson here to root his friend Mark Breland to victory, and it didn't take long for you to do that. Let me preface this interview by saying that the public is being inundated with information and interviews on the personal, private, and business life of Mike Tyson. Just this week, the Phil Donahue show, last night the Arsenio Hall show. There will be many more in the weeks leading up to the Bruno fight on the 25th, and we will cover that subject in its entirety in HBO fashion on the night of the 25th. Right now, it is our purpose not to talk to Mike about what's been going on in his life outside the ring, but rather about his friend Mark Breland and his training and preparation for the Bruno fight. So first, Mike, thank you for joining us, and you must be thrilled with what Mark was able to do.
This is the first time in a long time I saw him with an intent, you know what I mean, a bad intention here. For the first time, I never saw that in him. He was serious and knew what he had to do, and the title was on the line. I was just so emotionally happy because he's my friend, and I was glad he won, but I was so impressed in the way he put his punches together.
Have you had an opportunity in the past few months to sit down with Mark and discuss exactly that subject, the need for him to show fire and competitiveness in the ring?
Well, we talked, you know, slightly on the situation, but, you know, when you're friends, you try not to get too personal with that because that hits a nerve sometimes when you talk about somebody's business. You say, well, Mark, you're not doing that. You don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? It's not my job to tell him that. That's why he has a trainer. But I enjoy just being with the guy when we're hanging out.
Did you ever question in your own mind whether Mark was in the right profession, as some did?
Well, regardless if he wasn't or not, if he was to lose every fight, you know what I mean, after this fight, every fight in a row, you know, he would always be my friend. You know what I mean, for the love and respect and admiration I have for him.
Ray, what do you think about the way, yeah, I appreciate that, Mike, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Ray, what do you think of the way Mike looks? I mean, a few weeks ago, we were worried about whether he was going to be able to get in shape for the Bruno fight, and right here, he looks about as lean and hard as I've seen him.
Well, Mike is a winner, you know, and Mike knows what he has to do. He's a professional, and it's just a matter of time. I mean, all the other detractors, man, is one thing, but Mike is a winner, and he proved that against Michael Spinks.
Indeed. We'll talk right now about your conditioning while I put my earpiece back in so the producers can talk to me. What is the status of your training right now? A lot of people want to know what you weigh. It's been reported that it was as high as 260 a few weeks ago.
Well, I had a, and I... Oh, man. And, you know, I have a tendency to put on a lot of weight, but... Then
a lot of us do. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
I'm a hard worker, so when I'm in the gym, I watch after the first day. The first day, I totally starve out. I don't eat anything, because the first day is the hardest day. I totally starve. I don't eat anything, and then after that, I eat, you know, slightly. I cut mine to the third, you know what I mean, to a tenth of what I normally eat.
You're training yourself, in effect, right now?
No, I have someone, you know, I mean, a temporary trainer helping me out, get me in condition. Because basically when it comes to fighting, you know, I know all the moves, all the punches and everything. I just had to have that little extra push to get up and do the motivation at 4 o'clock in the morning. And basically I'm just ready, more mentally prepared than anything.
Is it going to be necessary for you to settle on a full-time trainer prior to the Bruno fight, or would you be willing to go into the ring on the present basis?
Well, temporarily at this particular moment, I'm satisfied with everything that's happening now. And I'm just looking forward to the fight very much.
What do you think Mark should do next? Take on the winner of the Huntington-Starling fight later tonight?
Well, my personal opinion, he should fight right away. He should fight again. He should fight again right away. 2 more fights, then fight the guy. You know what I mean? For the purpose of winning the title. You know, to fight a couple more fights, defend your title 3 more times, then fight again, then unify the title.
Final word of advice from one champion to another?
Well, it's just a matter of...
The gossip.
The best fighter in the world.
There's still only one undefeated.
I'm tired of getting splinters up my butt.
Undisputed.
They've never experienced anything like this, even if they're victorious.
Heavyweight champion of the world. See Mike Tyson's return to the ring, February 25th, live.